Hi everyone, I know this is a little bit late, but I'm going to be doing my May TBR today. I'm in a bit of a TBR situation that I'm sure none of you guys are familiar with, where I didn't read as much as I wanted to last month, and then there are too many things I want to read this month. So yeah, basically I'm just a little overwhelmed and confused. And then along with that, I have a little bit of an ARC dilemma that I'll mention to you guys in a bit, and maybe you can help me figure out what the heck I'm gonna do about it. I did get through a decent number of books in April, which I'll talk about in my April wrap-up that I haven't filmed yet, but there's still a few things that I'm currently reading or haven't gotten to yet that are tied over from last month that I do genuinely want to read, and I don't want to put them off until later just because I didn't get to them last month. I feel like everything is good in TBR land with me until I get behind, and then it's just like the domino effect of chaos. Because usually if I don't get to a book I put on my TBR, that was usually a book I genuinely really wanted to read, so then I feel like I need to catch up on that before I can read anything else, but then there's still more stuff I have to read. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna figure it out. I'll get to everything eventually, but I'm not doing my typical TBR this month with the hat and picking random suggestions because I just have too much to do already and I can't handle it. I also got into this thing this month where I was reading too many books at once. Sometimes I can juggle reading a couple different books at once, but right now I'm kind of reading 3 books and it's just a little bit too much. First of all, I'm still reading The Mask of Mirrors, which I'm almost done with. I might even finish this today, except I have some book from the library that's about to expire that I kind of wanted to read, and I don't want it to go back on my holds for like another 7 weeks, taking up space on my holds. And I know if I take it off my holds, I'll forget about it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to finish Mask of Mirrors really soon. It didn't quite live up to, no, that's for the wrap up. Well, anyway, I'll say this hasn't quite lived up to my expectations, but I'm still really enjoying it overall, and I'm curious to see how it ends. I'm also still reading Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, I'm not sure. I'm actually really liking it. It's just quite literary and quite dense, and involves me doing a lot of Wikipedia-ing on the history of the Tudors, so I can only read like a few pages a day of that book before my focus is kind of shot, but I'm overall really enjoying that one. I'm just still not done with it, and I've been deliberately not rushing through it because I want to actually understand it. I also started The Conductors by Nicole Glover a few weeks ago, and I had a hard time getting into it at first, but it was kind of not a great day. I was out all day sort of working on something and sort of tried to start the book on a break and just was having a really hard time focusing on it and not really getting into it. So that's still sitting on my Kindle. I still need to read that. I'm still very interested in reading the book, so I'm not considering it a DNF even though I haven't picked it up in a couple weeks because I think I will get back to it and finish it. It's not terribly long. So those are all the things I'm reading right now. And then from last month's TBR, I also didn't get to A Hero Born yet. Over here by Yong, which I still also really want to read, and that was one of my best friend's Magic Hat picks for me, so definitely need to read that soon. And I also didn't get to my Wheel of Time book last month. I think I'm scared of this one because it's a little bit bigger than the previous ones, and also I have it in hardcover because that's what the bookstore had. It's funny, I was actually feeling really excited to finally get to book 4 of Wheel of Time because I feel like it's kind of going to start a new arc, but yeah, I haven't done it yet. So now if I want to stay on track, I have to probably read at least 2 Wheel of Time books this month. I don't know, I don't even have a schedule for this. Somehow, magically, this is just going to work out. Even though I've been reading like 1 a month and none last month, I'm going to read 14 books in this series this year. I don't know. I don't have a plan for how the math on that is going to work out. So that's basically all the leftover chaos from last month's TBR. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I have kind of an ARC dilemma. For those of you that don't know, an ARC is an advanced reader copy. Publishers give them out to readers, reviewers, bloggers, I don't know what's going on out there. Publishers give them out to reviewers and bloggers and just people that will read and talk about the book before it releases to drum up a little bit of, advanced publicity for a title that's releasing. But I have reviewed a few books that I got as ARCs on the channel, usually things that I've requested through NetGalley, but because, I have a pretty small platform, I'm always really surprised when something I really want and I request it. I'm always surprised when that gets approved on NetGalley. So I just got approved for an arc of The Veiled Throne by Ken Liu, which I am super excited about because I've been so into this series. My husband also just finished the second book and he's pretty excited about it as well. But it kind of throws off my entire plan because I didn't really review or talk about the series that much when I was originally reading it. I was planning to reread books 1 and 2 like late summer, early fall and review them to prep for book 3 coming out. I actually just ordered physical copies of the books because I listened to them on audiobook. So I have them here. I should really do a book haul, but I've totally lost track of what I've bought recently. I don't think it's been that much. Has it been that much? Yeah. My husband just made a face. So I was planning to reread these physically before book 3 came out. So now I have this serious dilemma where I just got a really, really early copy of a book I really, really, really want to read. So do I just jump into it? And I don't know, like, do I read book 3 first and then still reread these later and review them and then talk about book 3 again? I don't know what to do about this. That's why I'm asking, what do you guys think I should do? Should I be disciplined and like, maybe do I start rereading these early and do it now and then read book 3? Or should I just read book 3 right away? And I don't know, help. So I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if option A is stick to my plan and maybe start the reread a little earlier, but reread books 1 and 2 before reading book 3, and then, stick to my planned schedule. Or option B, I guess, would be screw self-control and just read book 3 now and figure out the rest later. And I guess option C is you guys tell me what you think I should do. Okay, none of this has really actually been a TBR yet, so let me talk a little bit about what I want to read, even though I honestly don't know what I'm going to get to. We're already a week into May. I'm very confused. I did pre-order and get this copy of The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. She has a few out-of-print books that are getting re-released this year, and this is one of them. This is sort of a romance with some magic, I think, but more of a like historical. I don't know exactly actually how to describe this. I think I saw a description of hers about it, but I think she said this would be closer to the feel of Gods of Jade and Shadow, which I really liked, compared to Mexican Gothic, which was a little too much towards horror for me. So also, I'm not usually a person that gets super into covers, but I am really into this cover. I think it's also just the green and the colors and the art. So it looks short. I really would like to get to this month. I also did finish book 3 in The Faithful and the Fallen by Gwynne. So I really should try to just read book 4 this month and just finish out the series already. It's just not that much of a priority for me, so I don't know. I'm not going to say if that's on my TBR. Then another book that just came out that I've been very excited for, I didn't pre-order it or anything, but that was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian and Artemis. Really liked his previous books, so I know that's a very popular author, but I'm just excited to read that because usually they're just fun science fiction romps, and I like his writing style. And then I haven't even talked yet about my Hugo Awards reading project that I'm supposed to be doing. So I went ahead and checked out most of the novellas that are on this year's shortlist from the library because I thought with all this other reading chaos going on, maybe novellas were a good place to start. So I don't even remember. Let me see what I have on here. Other than books that are about to expire. Oh no, now I've lost my place. I decided to just go ahead and check out the first book in Seanan McGuire's Wayward Children series, even though that is not a Hugo finalist, because I think book 5 or 6 or whatever is on the best novella list, and I asked for people's recommendations and they said at least read the first 3 or so before jumping to number whatever the one that's on the list is. And honestly, I'll probably try to read all of them just because I don't like skipping things even when it's kind of okay. Then I have Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey, Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi, Finna by Nino Cipri. I think those are all the novellas that I checked out. So that should be a good start if I can get to some of those this month, get this Hugo Awards thing going. So yeah, there's a lot to read and I should probably get going.